In this video, we're going to look at how you can format your data that's in the cells. By default, numbers entered are considered just that, normal numbers, but sometimes you want specific types of numbers. For example, percentages, currencies, dates, times, numbers to certain decimal points. We're going to look at examples of showing data as currency, showing percentages, and looking at a common mistake that is made with these. Then we'll look at formatting dates and times and how we can use them in calculations. Some of these formats depend on the locale setting of your spreadsheet, and we're going to look at that first. By default, the spreadsheet will use your account settings to show the appropriate locale formats. This means if it's set to the United States, you will see dollars as the default currency, or if you were in Spain, you will see euros and decimal points as commas not points. Most users will probably just use the default setting, but for those working in a multinational environment, you may need to change it. Fortunately, it's really easy to do. Click on the File menu and click Setting. Then under Locale, click on the drop-down menu and select the country you want. For example, I'm going to change the spreadsheet to the United States, so it will show dollars. Then click Save and Reload. Notice the currency icon is now showing dollars. We'll look at showing currencies next. In this example, I have a simple home budget, which I want to change to dollars. Select the data you want to change. Here it's cells B2 to B8. Click on the currency symbol. Yours may be different depending on your location. And this changes the format of the numbers to the default currency. In this example, I have a table where I want to add some exam marks, which are percentages. Select the cells where your percentage marks are going to go in, including any formulas you may have. For example, here the last row works out the average mark, which I also want to be a percentage. Then click on the percentage sign in the toolbar. Type in your marks, just the numbers. Don't type the percentage signs or decimal places. And as you'll see, they appear automatically as percentages. By default, the percentages are to 2 decimal places, which is a little excessive in this case. So let's reduce the number of decimal places by 1. Select the data. Click on the Reduce Decimal Point button on the toolbar once. The numbers are now to 1 decimal place. If I wanted to increase the decimal place, I would have used the button to the right with the double zeros. You may be wondering why I selected and formatted the empty cells first and not after the numbers have been entered. Let's see what happens if you do that. Selecting the numbers, then choosing the percentage format produces numbers that are 100 times too big. It's something to watch out for, as it's a common mistake. There are more formats available, and these are accessible via the Numbers menu by clicking on the Numbers button. This menu is also available via the menu Format, then Number. As you can see, there are a lot of different formatting options. Let's look at dates and times. I have a sheet set up to work out the hours worked by a teacher. Here, we're going to work with dates, times, and hours. First, let's populate the sheet with the dates worked. I'm just going to type the month and day in a simple format. Then select the cell and drag the blue circles down to fill in the cells with consecutive dates. Let's say I want the format to be the month with the first 3 letters of the month, for example, Mar, followed by the day with a leading 0, for example, 05. Select the dates and click the number button, 1, 2, 3, in the toolbar. The numbers menu will appear then at the bottom. Select custom date and time. There are lots of preset formats here, which we could just click and then click apply. Plus, you also have the option of creating your own. Let's do that. Click on month 8 and select month as abbreviation. Then click on day 5 and various format options will appear. Let's select the leading 01. As we can see, the format is almost as we want it. The only thing left is to remove the backslash. Click in between the day and month menus and delete the backslash and put a space. Now we have the format we want. Click apply. The dates are now formatted the way we want. The other thing that happens when you create a bespoke format is that it is added to the format number menu. So it can be used again without having to set it up again, which is a great time saver. Now let's add the times. Type in the times using this format HH:MM, i.e. 12:30. Be careful if you use, for example, 12.30, the sheet will think it's a normal number. Make sure you use the colon between the numbers. Typing in the number using the colon means the sheet will automatically recognize it's a time. I now want to work out the hours worked, subtracting the start times in column C from the finish times in column D. I'm going to add a simple formula to work this out for me. Type in the formula equals D3 minus C3 in cell E3 and press enter. Fortunately, Sheets is clever enough to realize that the numbers in column C and D are times, and it puts the answer in column E in terms of hours and minutes. When you enter the formula, it will prompt you to auto-complete it in the other cells. In this case, we do want that, so just click the tick to accept the suggestion, and it will fill the missing cells with the hours worked. Note, what adding the formula actually did was copy the formula to each cell, but also move the references down a row each time. So equals D3 minus C3 became equals D4 minus C4 and so on. That's why it works.